8 billion people gather in one spot. A synchronized countdown hits zero, everyone jumps. The entire human population leaves the ground at the same instant. It sounds like a planetary event. It feels like the start of an apocalypse. In reality, the Earth barely notices. The collective mass of humanity is roughly 400 million tons. This seems like a lot. However, the Earth weighs 6 sextillion tons. Comparing the two is like a single flea jumping off a mountain. The physical impact is negligible. Gravity doesn't care about your coordinated effort. The planet doesn't wobble. No orbits shift. The moon remains indifferent. The sheer scale of the universe makes this massive human effort completely irrelevant. Conservation of momentum dictates the outcome. As the crowd pushes down, the Earth pushes back. For a fraction of a second, the planet moves. The distance is microscopic. We are talking about a shift smaller than the width of a single hydrogen atom. Once everyone lands, the Earth simply bounces back to its original position. The net movement is zero. Kinetic energy transforms into sound and heat. The air vibrates with a deafening roar. Billions of sneakers hitting the pavement create a shockwave. This isn't a tectonic event, but it is a loud one. Local windows shatter. Dogs everywhere start barking. The atmosphere ripples, but the planetary core remains perfectly still. This is a boring result. Physics is often disappointing. The universe doesn't reward enthusiasm with spectacular explosions. Most collective human actions result in nothing more than a slightly louder noise and some very tired calves. The dream of moving the world ends here. The real problem is the gathering. To make this work, 8 billion people must stand shoulder to shoulder. This requires a landmass roughly the size of Rhode Island. Logistics become a nightmare. Every single human must travel to one specific coordinate. Air traffic control collapses instantly. Every airport on Earth becomes a parking lot for planes that can't land. Roads turn into permanent sculptures of steel and glass. Food supplies vanish. The local plumbing system of Rhode Island is not designed for 8 billion people. Sanitation fails within minutes. The smell becomes a biological weapon. People start fighting over the last available square inch of dirt. The synchronized jump is forgotten. The mission is abandoned. Instead of a planetary shift, the world experiences the largest traffic jam in history. The coordination required to jump is far harder than the jump itself. Assume the logistics worked. Everyone is in place. The jump happens. The landing is where things get violent. Billions of people landing simultaneously create a concentrated pressure wave. This isn't an earthquake, but it is a localized seismic event. The ground compacts. Soil turns to concrete under the sudden load. If the group is on a coast, the displacement of air pushes a wall of wind toward the ocean. The pressure spike bursts eardrums for those in the center of the crowd. Shock waves travel through the pavement. Concrete slabs crack. Underground pipes burst. The sudden surge of kinetic energy warms the ground by a fraction of a degree. It is a tiny heat signature, but enough to be detected by satellites. The world doesn't move, but the surface is ruined. Millions of people trip over each other. The resulting pileup creates a human mountain. This new geographic feature is now visible from space. It is a monument to an entirely useless exercise in coordination. Now the crowd tries to leave. This is the true catastrophe. 8 billion people attempting to exit a small area creates a fluid dynamics nightmare. Humans behave like a high viscosity liquid. Pressure builds in the center of the mass. People are pushed forward by the sheer weight of those behind them. Panic sets in. The exit routes are narrow. Bottlenecks form. The density reaches a critical point where breathing becomes difficult. The atmospheric oxygen in the center of the crowd drops. This is not a scientific discovery, but a crowd crush event of planetary proportions. Emergency services are non-existent because the paramedics are also stuck in the crowd. The logistics of getting 8 billion people home take decades. Entire generations are born and die within the Rhode Island human pile. A new society forms based on the ownership of discarded sneakers. The global economy crashes because everyone is still trying to find their car in the parking lot. The internet goes down because the local cell towers were crushed by a falling crowd of 4 million accountants. The world has not moved an inch, but human civilization has effectively stopped. Scientists analyze the data. The Earth did move. By a distance so small it defies measurement, the orbital path shifted by a negligible amount. The day is now shorter by a trillionth of a second. The moon is slightly confused. The planetary axis remains stubbornly straight. All that effort, all that suffering, and all those ruined shoes resulted in a change that doesn't even register on a digital clock. The universe continues its expansion, completely oblivious to the jump. The aftermath is handled by the courts. The state of Rhode Island sues the entire human race for property damage. The legal fees exceed the global GDP. Everyone is fined $10 for unauthorized assembly. The bill arrives in the mail 3 years after the apocalypse. The Earth is still here. Your calves are sore. Stop trying to move planets. Subscribe to the What If Club for more ways to accidentally destroy the global economy.